All right, the latest news break coming in from Chennai, and the news is not good. What we are getting in is reports of heavy rains in Chennai, even as at the same time a Met Department warning has gone saying that there would be no rains. An assurance by the Met Department was given a short while back that there will be no heavy rains, but as we speak, our reporters on ground are reporting certain areas of Chennai being lashed with heavy rain. I'd like to connect to T.S. Sudhir. He's live with us from Kutturapuram. T.S., you know, we're getting visuals of heavy rain once again. The only possible silver lining today to all of this was the Met Department saying that there would be no heavy rain, but what we're witnessing is something entirely different.
Absolutely, Preeti. Sorry for not making a very pretty picture, but even Chennai is not looking very pretty. The heavens have opened up. There was a heavy downpour. It's kind of abated now, but that's only going to make the rescue operation pretty difficult. If my camera person Manohar can just pan to the right and show you the extent of rainfall. The rainfall is quite steady, contrary to what the Met Department predicted, that the heavy rainfall will not happen, but there was a heavy downpour, and for a moment, for some time now, the rescue operation seems to have been put on hold, but there are people who are slowly being persuaded to come out. This is a colony which is on the side of the Adyar River, Kutturapuram, a low-lying area which has got completely flooded. The depth of this water is about 8 feet. It was about 15 feet, we are told, 24 hours ago. It has come down, but now with this rain again, it's likely to rise once again. There are some 2,000 people who have been rescued, but as Assistant Commander of NDRF, who's leading the operations here, Mr. D.N. Singh, was saying, अभी 6,000 लोग और अंदर हैं।
हाँ, अंदर और लोग हैं। यहाँ पानी का जो लेवल है सेकंड फ्लोर तक है। सेकंड फ्लोर हम लोगों ने जो रेस्क्यू किया है उसमें कहीं कहीं पर खिड़कियों से हमने रेस्क्यू किया, खिड़की से तोड़ करके और उसको निकाला गया है। काफी ऐसे लोगों को है। और दूसरी चीज, ये जब लेवल बढ़ेगा तो ये पानी अभी जो 5 फीट घटा है वो तुरंत अडियार रिवर के चलते वो इंक्रीज हो जाएगा।
पूरा पानी यहाँ पे आ जाएगा। And that's not good news for your rescue personnel. You have some 120 odd people on the job along with the army and the navy divers.
गुड न्यूज नहीं है, लेकिन रेस्क्यू करने में हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। हम रेस्क्यू कर लेंगे, हम स्पेशलाइज भी हैं, इससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी।
Now, what Mr. D.N. Singh has also been telling, there's a lot of vehicles actually under that water. Now, that makes the process of actually floating on that water quite difficult for the boats, right?
Yes. ये जो नीचे पानी के अंदर जो 4 व्हीलर वगैरह और 2 व्हीलर नीचे दबे हुए हैं, तो उनको हम जब पानी के ऊपर से क्रॉस करते हैं तो वो हमारे के साथ टकराते हैं, तो उससे हमारे जो डिसबैलेंस होता है थोड़ा उसमें, जिसमें कि हमारे नाव को भी थोड़ा सा डैमेज हुआ है, वो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। बाकी रेस्क्यू के लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। हमने रस्सी का भी काफ़ी यूज किया है। जब करंट ज़्यादा था तो रस्सी का प्रयोग करके हमने पूरा 500 मीटर तक रस्सी का प्रयोग करके और वहाँ से 500 मीटर के करंट को हमने ऑब्जर्व किया और वहाँ से एवैक्यूएट किया।
This is the bridge which kind of connects Kutturapuram to the other side of the Adyar, and as you can see, a whole lot of people. This is the place where people were being served food after they were evacuated from their homes here in this colony in Kutturapuram. That area is completely full. Of course, a lot of people also indulging in a bit of disaster tourism, wanting to see the kind of damage that has been caused to Kutturapuram, one of the worst affected areas as a result of the Chennai floods. The administration tells us that they would want to put in some kind of pump sets to dry out the water, to suck out the water. Now, when will that happen? We really do not know. But yes, at this point in time, given the fact that it started raining again, only going to make matters a little more difficult for those engaged in the rescue and relief operation.
You know, T.S., we'd like to stay with you. And the question that I want to ask you is right now, I understand that, you haven't been in touch with the rest of our colleagues on ground, but any understanding, because we don't want to sound alarmist here, as the Met Department earlier today had said that there would be a respite from rains. Is it only in the area that you're stationed, which is Kutturapuram, that you're experiencing heavy rainfall, or is this what is being seen across the city of Chennai? By any, chance, do you have a larger understanding on what's playing out in different parts of the city?
Well, very difficult to hazard a guess, Preeti. As I said, I have not been in touch with Pratibha, Rohini and Shisha, who are also on the ground in different other parts. But the sense I get is that it has been overcast for most part of the day in different parts of Chennai, and it always looked like it could rain any moment. So my guess would be that along the Adyar River, which is a large stretch of land in within Chennai city, would be raining at this point in time. And given the fact that the rain clouds seem quite dark and it is kind of quite a steady downpour out here in Kutturapuram, Kanchipuram itself. My guess would be that other areas would also be witnessing quite a steady rainfall in Chennai city itself, and also perhaps we were getting reports in the morning. In fact, Shisha Reddy had reported that it was raining in both Kanchipuram and Puducherry. Now, Puducherry and Kanchipuram district which have received quite an amount of rainfall again in the last 3 weeks. So it was raining there, and now it seems like Chennai, or at least some parts of Chennai, are receiving quite heavy rainfall.
All right, TS, you and your reporters have been at the job, on the job over the last week or even more than that. In the last couple of days, we've seen the worst where Chennai is concerned. Are things improving in terms of the rescue operations? Just what are you witnessing?
Well, in terms of rescue operations, yes, things are improving, but that's also in areas. There are some areas like parts of central Chennai which are almost bone dry, which haven't seen too much of damage in terms of waterlogging. But there are again many areas in Belacheri, which is South Chennai, which is in fact one of the most affected, like Kuturpuram here, which are really flooded and making it extremely difficult for people to go. There is drainage water, sewage water, which has got mixed up with the rainwater. There is garbage flowing along with the water, making it extremely risky for people to actually walk in those waters, because you can contract all kind of skin diseases as a result of walking in that water. We saw a family in the morning which had not, again in central Chennai, which had not got any food or drinking water, no power of course, for the last 5 days. So the administration has not really been able to reach out, and much of the rescue operation has really been outsourced to the army and the NDRF and the Navy, who are doing a stellar job. But the process of actually providing those essential amenities, those essential commodities like milk, which is selling at an astronomical price in some localities, vegetables, which the price of which have gone up almost 4 to 5 times, that is going to be the challenge for the Tamil Nadu and the Chennai administration, whether they are able to provide some kind of succor for the people of Chennai, that they are able to reach out, and that's going to be the biggest challenge. The NDRF and the Air Force, the Army and the Navy will do their job of rescuing people and keeping the casualty figure to the minimum, but to provide relief is going to be the bigger challenge as far as the Tamil Nadu and Chennai administration is concerned.
Whether the fact the state government battled with the deluge properly, well, that's to be answered later, whether or not there were many who said that the state government was completely incommunicado. But coming back to you, those questions are of later, TS. On the network here, we've been getting calls constantly. We've seen it on the social media as well. There is this whole citizen partnership that has come into play, and it's not just people from Tamil Nadu or people from Chennai. How do these people actually help without being a hindrance? Because you're on ground, you would know where help is needed maximum and what people can do, even if they're sitting in Delhi.
Well, in fact, till late last night, I was getting messages from friends who had received similar messages from their friends of people being stuck, not being able to communicate because the mobile phones are not working. In most areas, even the landlines are not working. So they're incommunicado. Their relatives and friends do not really know whether they are safe or not and where they are. So that is a big problem. And contrary to what the Chennai Corporation has been claiming, that their helpline numbers are very accessible and it's easy to approach, most of the people, 9 out of 10 people, say that they are not accessible at all. They are not able to reach out to the helpline number. So that is again a big challenge for the Tamil Nadu administration. Again today, in fact, we saw locals putting up sandbags where some water had gone into some of the low-lying areas to ensure that that water did not flow into the main roads and making a larger area inaccessible or inundated. So it's essentially the citizens who are coming out, the Chennai spirit coming out in full force to ensure that things are somehow under control. Yes, social media has played a huge role. There have been Google spreadsheets which have been prepared to talk about which are the areas which are badly affected and which are the areas where help is needed, and help of what kind. Because remember, food, water, medicines, these are 3 things which people need the most. I saw a whole lot of people queuing in front of chemist shops looking for medicines, because there are lots of elderly people in Chennai, people who are not well, who would need these medicines, and they really need to be reached out to. So those are some of the areas which the Tamil Nadu administration will really have to focus, while the Army, the Navy and the NDRF engage in the process of rescuing people, persuading people, more importantly, to leave their homes and come to the safety of a relief camp where food and water can be provided.
All right, TS, do stay on with me. What we will do is we're getting the latest reaction coming in from the Met Department. Mr. BP Yadav speaking to India Today. Right after that, TS, coming right to you. Let's hear in what the Met Department has to say about the weather conditions where Chennai is concerned. All right, want to cut across back to T.S. Sudhir, editor South, reporting from Kuttupuram, because whatever the Met Department has said today, what he is witnessing on ground is something different. The skies have opened up. It started to rain, unfortunately, again. The Met Department statement was, if at all, could have been seen as a silver lining, but at least where TS is stationed, which is Kuttupuram, it doesn't seem so. However, Sudhir, with what the Met Department has just stated, it does seem that over the next 2 days, the heavy rains that we have seen at least, that will not take place.
Well, yes, hopefully the Met Department's prediction will come true. It's not really bearing out on the ground as we speak in Kuttupuram in Chennai by the Adyar River. But the people here, both engaged in the rescue operation as well as the locals, more importantly, would hope that the Met Department's prediction of heavy rainfall, that no heavy rainfall will take place, comes true, and they're actually able to get back to normal at least by Monday or Tuesday.
TS, give us a larger understanding. We'd asked you that question again. We've been getting all these requests for people not in Tamil Nadu, in various states, who want to come out and help. You're on the ground. What advice would you give to viewers who are possibly sitting in a Gujarat or a Delhi to come out and extend support to their countrymen in Chennai?
Well, as I said, the main three things which are required, of course, food, at least at relief camps, is being provided by the Tamil Nadu government and various other agencies. I see a whole lot of NGOs. For instance, there was something called the Khalsa Society of Chennai, which had come along with a whole lot of food packets. I've been seeing a lot of people pledging on social media that they will distribute food packets. So food largely seems to be getting taken care of. Medicines, a huge responsibility given the fact that many of the hospitals have also been underwater. We saw the tragic incident taking place at Mayot hospitals where 18 patients died reportedly because of lack of oxygen. We do not know whether lack of accessibility to the hospital facilities was the cause for that death. That will be something which only a detailed probe will establish. But yes, medicines is another issue. Drinking water a major issue. So those kind of things, and given the fact that people are finding it very difficult to access milk, etc., for the children and for the elderly people, also making matters very difficult. So essentially what is required now is milk, medicines and drinking water. People can help out if they actually manage to reach out, if they're actually able to open their houses even to strangers. People in Chennai especially, if they're able to do that, a lot of people in need for shelter, and they're really not able to stay either on the roads. Yesterday we saw, for instance, in the Coimbatore bus stand, many of the people who are students, their hostels are completely underwater, wanting to go home either to Bangalore, Hyderabad or Coimbatore or places in Kerala, and not able to do that because the buses were overcharging. Now this is where the government needs to step in with an iron hand to ensure that the buses do not overcharge, do not charge 2,000 rupees for a 500 rupees ticket, and even then not getting a ticket. So they are desperate to get out of Chennai at this point and probably return only after a week or so, because their family members are worried about their safety, and they were just sleeping on the pavement all night because their hostels are full of water and there is no bus or train or of course any airline to actually take them back home out of Chennai.
And those are pictures of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is an Indian Air Force Boeing 737. Now the Prime Minister will be briefed.
Hello everybody. So I think most of you in the crowd are in schools now. So you've probably started to think about which college you want to choose, where you want to go to. And we're here to at least make sure you put Amrita in that list.